Well, welcome back to Michigan Life Above the 45th Parallel, everyone. My name's Jason, and we are back on the property. Another beautiful day in northern Michigan. Got the new flag up. It was the old one from the porch downstate on the old house. Figured it was laying in the shed. I wanted somewhere to put it, so new building, another flag. Well, I hope everyone's having a good day today. Down here at the solar shed, I don't know if you noticed, it's all other than the overhang, which on both sides we don't have a wrap, but everything else is nice and wrapped. Just use some tar paper. Even got the roof done. That's all nice and dried in. So this thing's pretty much watertight. The only thing, like I said, the fascia here, I wrap the edges a little bit, so when water comes down it'll just drip off the fascia. But we're not weather tight yet, but we're at least dried in. And then this has been working out amazing for us. Right now we got power on to the camper. We're running off solar right now. So I moved the generator and the gas tank down here. I got that stuff out of camp. So that's down here. We got our big power pack here. The Amp Aura, that's our big guy. That's charging off solar as well. So we're running off the RV and we're charging our battery pack at the same time today off our solar. So solar's been huge, guys. So it's another thing I add to my list is kind of monitoring the solar system and all that stuff every day. That's part of keeping up on the batteries, checking up on the panels, making sure they're clean and clear. And we're getting some good watts coming out of the sun, adding to our batteries. But yeah, speaking of watts coming from the sun, I don't know if you guys noticed in the news, there's been a lot of wildfires up in Canada, in central Canada. And that smoke, the way it's been burning, the smoke's been coming down and it's been hitting like the Dakotas, Minneapolis, or Minnesota, Wisconsin and Michigan. We've been getting a lot of unhealthy air quality alerts on the unhealthy or hazardous levels some days. But if you notice, see how it's kind of gray? It's not very blue. Should be a lot more blue. We have like, you can kind of see the clouds today. The haze isn't as bad. It's letting up today. But the sun always, it's got a haze in the sky. And with that haze in the sky, you're actually, on your solar systems, you actually pull less watts from the sun because the haze is blocking some of that sunlight. So it's been something we've been dealing with in our breathing, in your respiratory. It could become an issue, but also with your solar panels, you're not going to pull as many watts when you have a lot of haze. So it's something we've actually been dealing with in Michigan for going on like 3 weeks now. They got some wildfires there in Canada. Some of them are burning uncontrolled, and there's a lot. They have a big area of Canada burning right now. So unfortunately, we're dealing with a lot of that smoke down here, and that's been affecting our solar grid. So we're not pulling what we should be pulling. So I mean, it kind of looks, you can just see it in the sky. It's just got a haze to it. It's gray. So unfortunately, we've been having to deal with that. So our batteries, actually my little reflection panel fell down. Alright, so this is actually pretty neat, guys. It's like a $20 hack to add to your solar panels, and I can get up to 100 more watts out of my panels just by putting up a piece of insulation board, 1-inch insulation board with reflective backing, and you just angle this with a scrap piece of wood. It's a little windy today, so it keeps blowing down, but I just got a scrap piece of cedar, kind of lightweight, and if you just angle this up here, I can pull out my phone app and I can watch my wattage jump from 80 to over 100 watts just by having this up front, catching some of that sunlight and reflecting it back on the panels. I'm getting a lot more wattage out of it. So that's one thing I've been doing to try and battle the wattage we're losing due to the haze and the wildfire smoke that's over Michigan and kind of the upper Midwest. So this has been something that's been kind of helpful in this scenario. So that's one thing I've done while the wildfires have been burning and creating haze and less sunlight for us. I've used a little $20 hack and it has been huge for us. So it's helping pick up a little bit of what we're losing. So if you got something like this laying around, or run up to your local hardware, get you something like this, scrap piece of wood, 20 bucks, get 100 more watts, could be helpful in something like this. $20 hack, insulation board, reflective backing, angle it towards your panels. I'm pulling up my solar app. I can get 80 to 100 more watts, 100 plus watts at times, just by using a $20 hack. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Michigan Life Above the 45th Parallel for more tips and tricks with your solar system. So, a little ride down the driveway, as you guys can see. We got ourselves a drop box now. So, whole point of that is keep less trucks driving down the driveway because my tractor still broke down, unfortunately. I really got to start digging into finding someone else to fix it for me. It's kind of hard up here to find people to do that, and it's older, so a lot of people don't want to work on it. I just need someone that knows how to, and I don't know, I'm willing to do whatever I got to do to get that tractor fixed because these trucks are tearing up our driveway. So the whole point of this box is to have less trucks coming down the driveway, and then we can not have to worry about the driveway getting worse. I'm probably gonna have to go out with a hand shovel and do it by hand and try and dig out some of those high spots, throw them in the low spots, and make the driveway a little better by hand. Because unfortunately, it's getting pretty bumpy. So, and these trucks are making it worse and worse. So that's the whole purpose of that. So I just built a quick little box, put a sign on it. They know where to leave the packages at. And we coated it with a bunch of sealant. You saw Clarissa do that. I also put some bricks in the ground, kind of raised it up a little bit, leveled it. And I varnished the bottom as well. And got a couple good thick coats on there just so that it'll repel some of the water. Might have to come out once or twice a year and throw a quick coat on there, but it should last a couple years. By the time I think this box takes a hit and doesn't last any longer, we'll probably be done with the build. We'll probably be done with the driveway. I'll have a lot of gravel in here. I'll have a tractor again, you know, so they'll be able to maintain the driveway more. So I think it'll serve its purpose. Pretty much free 99. I spent a couple bucks on really the sign. Everything else I had laying around the property. So pretty cheap, easy little project. Got it done. Should help out on the property. So just wanted to update you on that. That's all set and good to go. And hopefully they start using it. Another thing to go along with our whole solar upgrade and running off battery packs, we're trying to be more energy conscious. So we did get new lights, and we got LED lights. So these ones, each bulb's only pulling 3 watts instead of the bulbs I had in before were pulling 8 watts a piece. So I was pulling 16 watts per light as they were running versus this one is only pulling 6 watts per light. So that's what, almost 3 times less watts that I'm pulling as every light's on. So it's little additions like this that make a big difference when you're running off power packs and you're running off solar. So I went through and did all the lights in the whole camper, and I actually noticed we were running off power pack, and I kind of looked at the watts because we had nothing else running, saw what it was running at, swapped all the lights out, and then kept the same things on that were running when I looked at it, and I was pulling a good 20 watts less because we had a few lights on. So it was pretty big, significant difference. If you think about 20 watts added up over hours on end, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna add up to a bigger number. So pretty excited about that. That's one little addition that we did. Ooh, one little addition that we did with the solar upgrade. That's helped out a little bit. So it's all those little things add up. It's me adjusting that little reflective panel, pulling in 100 more watts. Me swapping out the light bulbs in the camper, you know, pulling less watts when the lights are on. So all those little things that add up and make a difference when you're living off grid and living off power packs and solar power. So every little thing, obviously you got to pay for it. You got to use it for a little while to get that actual cost savings. And then once you hit that break even point, everything after that is just savings in your pocket. So speaking of savings in our pocket, this move that setup down here. So now that is down here, and now that that's down here, we don't have to listen to it as much because we're running off our solar. So the generator down here, I've ran off this thing for 2 hours going on my 3rd day now. And that's a big difference versus what we were doing before we had solar. We were running a generator 4 to 6 hours a day just to charge all the packs up, and then we'd run the RV off of the power station after it was charged overnight, and during the day while it was charging, we just run off the generator. So that was a gasoline fuel charge that we had every single day. We'd have to run it for 4 to 6 hours. So now I've only ran it 2 hours in the past 3 days, and that's a lot less gas. So that adds up to even more savings on top of our solar. So I don't know, I'm kind of like a little penny pincher, frugal kind of person, like to reuse, repurpose. If I can get something for free or I get something at a discount, I'm always about it. So investing a little bit into the lighting and the solar and all that, to me in the long run is going to pay off. So it's been pretty huge for us, being able to have power now that doesn't cost us gasoline, doesn't have to run all day and listen to that noise. We can actually enjoy the outdoors and listen to all the birds and the nature that we moved up into, and we want to enjoy some more. So, because right now it's a little fan running, that's all I hear. As soon as you walk away 10 feet, you don't even hear it. That versus a generator running all day long, huge difference. So that's kind of a little update. That's what we've been up to around here. Just kind of settling in and dialing in this whole solar thing, because it's pretty much our first week now running on solar. It's been pretty cool, ain't gonna lie. I've enjoyed it. It's something else to do during the day. It gives me a little task to do. Go out and always look at the solar, make sure our panels are doing good, make sure our batteries are charged, make sure we got enough power. So, and something I've been wanting to do. So this is behind the camper, and we got all these woods. It's pretty clear in the solar shed, and we got our path we've been using. What I've been thinking about, and Clarissa has been talking about wanting me to do, is get the blower. I'm going to start blowing all these leaves all the way out to the field, and on that tree line at the edge of the clearing there where the solar panels are, I'm just going to kind of pile them up there and create like a berm of leaves over there. Let those kind of naturally break down, decompose. That's the edge of the clearing. We have a bunch of raspberry bushes out there, so that might help with the soil out there. But I'm thinking if I blow all the leaves back and get all these leaves out of here, we're going to have less bugs in the area. The bugs have been better, less deer flies, less mosquitoes. It was just getting pretty bad. I feel like when it is really humid, they come out even more. So it's been pretty dry this week. It's been nice weather. Humidity's been down. Bugs have been definitely less. We got a bug zapper out there. We got a bunch of fly traps. We've been doing a couple other things that like help mitigate all the bugs, and it's actually been a noticeable difference. That bug zapper is just, thing's a machine when it comes to massacring bugs. It's just all day, all night. So I usually run that off our little power pack, the little guy, and I charge that up with the sun and our solar. So less bugs have been nice. But yeah, I want to work on getting all this cleared out so that all these woods are nice and clean from the camper to the clearing. Yeah, so I think that's something I want to do, because the metal, like I said, I got to go downstate tomorrow, so I won't be here, and I don't want to start the metal project yet, so I'm just gonna hold off on that. Been doing little artsy fartsy stuff around the property, cleaning up loose ends, stuff like that, cleaning stuff up. And getting all that stuff out of the campsite. All that stuff's gone. It's not all piled up. A lot more room right here. Power stations aren't up on the porch and stuff, because I was using it right there because we had the canopy and the overhang. So anytime it did rain or anything like that, at least the power stations weren't just sitting out in the rain. Now that I got the shed out there and all the plugins down there, I can just keep everything inside and get everything plugged up, and it stays nice and dry. So, but yeah, that's kind of what's been going on around the property. Other than that, Clarissa's been busy working, editing. We've got a lot of videos in the kitty right now, I call it. They're waiting to go out to you guys. I've been kind of dropping some a little sooner than normal because we got some exciting stuff around here and we wanted to show it to you guys. So we've been dropping more and more because we're up here full time, so we're able to produce a little more content for you guys. And so that is that little 40 watt panel that we picked up from MHPOWOS. There's really no word for that. It's just a lot of letters. I wish there was a MHPOWOS. MHPOWOS? I don't know. No, but that's a little 40 watt panel we picked up. That's been pretty neat. I've been using that to trickle charge some of these. So during the day when there's a bunch of sun right here, I set this thing out on the table, and almost got the bug sticky thing in my beard. And that sits there and just charges in the sunlight, and it gets a little trickle charge. So while the pack's running, it's using a little less power, and the battery lasts a little bit longer. Another one of those little things that adds up. So usually get that out there and usually plug it in whatever power station's running. Usually not the big one because that thing pulls so much. It's not really going to affect the big one, but the little ones, it actually puts a little dent in it. So that's been pretty cool. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, check out that video. There's a discount code in that video, and that was a cool little sponsor. So pretty useful solar panel for the property. So check that out if you haven't checked that out. But yeah, just wanted to update you. We actually do use that thing. It's usually used daily when we got good sun. So like I said, Bug Zapper's been putting in work. A lot of moths, little fly traps. But hey man, there's enough bugs to go around up here. If I can get a couple flies, a couple horse flies on here, a couple mosquitoes, I'll spend a couple bucks to have less of those guys bite me. And for anyone to say I'm killing bugs, there is a bajillion bugs up here, so I don't think the birds will be missing it. If anything, it's free dining. They can just come down and snag the dead bugs right there. So I'm actually, I don't know, maybe helping them out. But yeah. So, and the next little project, like the box, this will be the next one. So I got a pallet, both trash cans. I picked up a second trash can because one just wasn't cutting it. So now we got two trash cans. I got a pallet. I have some old chicken wire. I got some old fencing. And I think Eric, father-in-law, I think he's got some spare chicken wire laying around too. And I need to build like a little container for the trash cans, because you'll set it out trash night, and sometimes in the morning you'll get animals going through the trash. So if I build a little fenced in, caged in little pallet box that's tall enough to fit the trash cans with a lid, or a gate on the front, I think, so they can just open the gate, pull the cans out, dump them, and then that keeps the animals from getting in the trash. So I think I got enough spare stuff laying around that I might be able to whip that together with another free 99, I call it, because we're reusing and repurposing what we got. I may have to pick up a 2x4 too. I don't know. I'm going to go dig through the scrap pile, see what I got out there. I want to keep everything as light as possible because I'm going to have to move this down every trash night and drag it with the ATV. So I'm thinking maybe throw on some treated 2x6s on the bottom and angle them so it's like a little skid, and throw like 2 or 3 skids on there, and then it'll just like drag down the driveway, and then in the winter it'll help maybe drag through the snow. I don't know. I haven't come up with that yet. Might get some wheels for it, and that would cost some money. So I don't know. That's a little project I've been brainstorming in my head. That's usually what I do for my projects. Come up with something. Oh, we need a shed. We need a trash thing. We need an Amazon Dropbox. Whatever we need, I come up with an idea, and I just hash it over in my head for a few days until I come up with a plan. Usually don't write stuff down. I usually keep it up in the old noggin, and then I just start building. And then when I run into an issue or problem, I just kind of deal with it when I get there. Probably be a lot easier if I actually like drew up some plans and stuff like that for these little things, but they're such small projects. They're pretty simple. I'm using scrap stuff, so sometimes you got to work with what you got as well. So that's why I don't usually like plan it out, but that'll be the next little project I'm going to get going on the property up here. That's one of the little side projects, little side quests that I want to do. So, oh yeah,